All right, y'all. Go ahead and get y'all's libation. We will begin shortly, so I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and get y'all's libation. Thank you. I'm gonna wait for another 2 to 3 minutes and then we're gonna get started. We got a lot to talk about. All right, welcome to the talk with William Morris. My name is William Morris, aka K Willie. Okay, go ahead on and get my banner up. The talk is a commentary based YouTube channel. All information in this video and others like it is alleged except for the information that is damn not. Okay, we value all voices, but take no damn disrespect. Okay, need a logo or a website? Contact your boy. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into this. And if you need the additional information, here you go. There is the additional information. Okay. So I know some of y'all gonna ask me, okay, Willie, so where the hell have you been, kind of child? We ain't seen you in a good long minute. It's been about 5,000 years since we last seen you. So where have you been? Okay. There is no excuse for me being this absent for this damn long. But let me just tell y'all, I've been busy, y'all. I have been busy. Okay. And so, but that is no excuse for me not being available and updating my content and keeping it fresh. So I hope y'all will forgive me, and I hope that y'all get y'all libation, whatever y'all drinking, whatever y'all snacking on. Y'all let me know in the comment section, kind of child, so we can go ahead on and get this thing popping. Okay, as you know, Tory Lanez has been found guilty of all charges in relation to the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Now, y'all know, I don't usually follow celebrities like that. I don't usually have a hot spit take on celebrities like that, and that's mainly because they don't affect my life. I don't affect their life. Why am I heavily invested into the damn celebrity? Now, I will say the only person that I might be heavily invested in is Mariah damn Carey. Okay, okay. Hey, hey. How are you? How are you? How are y'all doing? Okay, so let's get into it. Okay. Um, we have a situation on our hand that we need to talk about. And we need to talk about it in the larger context of the black culture concerning the black women and the black men. Now I know some of y'all are gonna get on your nerve. I know I'm gonna get on y'all nerves with a lot of this black culture stuff, but it's prevalent and it's relevant to the larger discussion that's outside of Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. There has been a lot of disinformation surrounding this trial from bloggers and from black men and some black women that have been out here with disinformation, with a disinformation campaign to try to discredit Megan Thee Stallion because for whatever reason they don't like Megan Thee Stallion, and I don't know why. It's weird to me that they're gonna go through whatever they gotta go through just to discredit a black woman who got shot for whatever reason. Yeah, Miss Lindsay. Yeah. Okay. I have been following this trial kind of in and out, in and out, in and out, just to kind of get a um um just so that I can stay in the loop, but I'm not in the loop because y'all know I've been busy. So let's get on into this little article that I found on um CNN. And we're just gonna read some of it. We're not gonna read all of it. We're just gonna read some of it, and then I'm gonna give y'all my perspective. And then if y'all want to join the channel, y'all, I'm sorry, not join the channel. If y'all want to join the panel, not channel, panel, there will be a link in the comment section below. But we need to get through this so that way we can go ahead and get y'all onto the comment section. Lindsay says, interested in hearing your unique perspective on things like is going on over our black folks' heads right now, and I don't like that. Agreed. Agreed. So let's get into this article. A Los Angeles jury on Friday found rapper and singer Tory Lanez guilty of all three charges related to the July 2020 shooting of fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion in the Hollywood Hills, the Los Angeles District Attorney told CNN. Lanez had pleaded not guilty to assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharge of a firearm with gross negligence, according to prosecutors. The jury convicted him on all three counts. Megan accused Lane of shooting her in the foot after she exited a vehicle they had been riding in following an argument. In her testimony during the trial, Megan said things were tense in the car between her, Lane, and her former friend and assistant, Kelsey Harris. I'm going to get to you later, Kelsey. I'm going to get to you later. The artist testified Lanez wanted her to come clean with Harris about the fact that the two of them had been intimate. But Billboard reports Megan was uncomfortable doing so because she knew Harris had a crush on the Canadian rapper and singer. Megan said that she had exited the car when Lanez shot her. I started walking away and I heard Tory yell, "Dance, bitch," she said. She tearfully testified, according to Billboard. I froze. I just felt shocked. I felt hurt. I looked down at my feet and I see all of this blood. Megan showed incredible courage and vulnerability during her testimony. Quote, despite repeated and gross attacks, L.A. County DA George Gaston said in a statement to CNN following the verdict. Quote, you face unjust and despicable scrutiny that no woman should ever face, and you have been an inspiration to others across LA County and the nation, he said in reference to Megan. Women, especially black women, are afraid to report crimes like assault and sexual violence because they are often not believed. This trial, for the second time this month, highlighted the numerous ways that our society must do better for women. I agree. I agree. Gaston added, referencing Harvey Weinstein being found guilty of three out of 7 charges on Monday. He also thanked the jurors for their time and thoughtful deliberation. Lane did not take the stand in his defense. During the 9-day trial, the jury, comprised of 5 men and 7 women, began deliberating Thursday, and a verdict was reached on Friday afternoon. Lane was taken out of the courtroom by bailiffs and handcuffed after the verdict was read. According to CNN affiliate KCBS, he faces a maximum of sentence of 22 years in prison and possible deportation back to his native Canada. Okay, this whole thing has been ridiculous to me. Okay, and what I mean by that is you have a whole lot of black men and some cisgendered black women that are taken up for this crusty ass looking food. And no one in that circle, because I was on Conscious TV channel last night having this discussion, and what I had to say was this: no one stood up for this woman while this woman was shot. This is a black woman, and when it came out, you didn't hear black men talk about Megan Thee Stallion as if she was the victim. You heard her talk about Megan Thee Stallion as if she was the one that had the gun in her hand and was targeting Tory Lanez. Now, I don't want to get into the weeds of this particular discussion, because honestly, I feel like whatever Megan Thee Stallion did prior to whatever Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez did, whether they were intimate or not, that does not justify the fact that she should be shot. She shouldn't have been shot. And his little bruised ego, I think, is what's causing, is what caused him to really feel like he can just do whatever he wanted to Megan. Okay. So let's have a larger conversation about, I'm going to read some of your comments here in a little bit, but let's have a larger conversation about black men discrediting black women, even though they know that that their own have done the shit that they're complaining about anyway. Okay, so let me read your comments a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm Lindsay says, I'm curious if he will be allowed a bond or just stay in custody until a sentencing. Surprise, a bond is possibly on the table since this isn't a white collar crime. And then she said, also she says this. She says, waiting for paparazzi to pull up on Chris Brown for his take on the verdict. Oh, I didn't even know Chris Brown had a take on the damn verdict. Um, if anything, I think Chris Brown should just stay out of this. Because we all know what he did to Rihanna. Okay, it says, and then they also says Tory Lanez most definitely has a Napoleon complex, and the way his father. That's the thing I wanted to talk about. How in the hell are y'all? Explain to me how in the hell y'all thought it was okay for you to blow up in court while the sentencing was being read. Like, explain to me how you thought that was okay. Now your ass is looking dusty. And now we all know where he got it from. So going back up to your previous comments about the bond, I'm actually not even sure if he will get out on a bond. Um, considering, but um, considering the fact that we don't know how many, what is his sentence. Uh, so yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually not a lawyer here, but I'm just saying, since we don't know that information yet, I think we need to wait and see whether this is whether there will be a bond or something like that. But I'm not really sure. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that as well. So here's my perspective on the whole thing. Then I want to get y'all to join in and tell me what y'all think. In the larger context of the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion saga is this. Black men love to shout they want to protect black women, but are supporting the abuser and did not uplift the victim in this case. And where I was very, 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 very concerned about was the disinformation that was coming out. And the reason why I was concerned about that was because I wasn't sure if this was going to hurt Megan's career, because the disinformation and the campaign that the blogs were having against Megan, mostly black men who claim that they want to protect black women but are supporting the abuse of but supporting the abuser. Um I think for me, one of the biggest issues that I found in the black community is the fact that we are not protecting our own. As much as we love to talk about Pookie and Ray Ray and them getting shot and marching for them, we don't seem to want to march for the women that have been hurt due to a perpetual system of oppression, not just by white people, but also by our own people. And until we can rise up and pay attention to what's happening, why do you think white people are looking at us like we're crazy? Because we can't protect our own. We can't. We don't know how. We haven't been taught the correct way to protect our own. And now you have um fem feminine men and women protecting the black woman, because hello, the black woman in this particular case is being put in danger by the black man. I just don't understand. Like, y'all gonna have to help me understand, because for it's one thing for us to call you out, and that's what we do on this channel and others like me. We call y'all out on y'all bull. We don't just call y'all out just specifically. We call out anybody that's within the queer community as well, that's within the LGBT community, that's on they fuckhole shit in the name of what um Conscious TV said. Indeed, indeed, I agree. Lindsay says our girl needs to choose a better path forward towards healing. I believe it, and I believe she's gonna get it. With as much money as she has, I believe she's going to get that healing. We're still riding Beyonce's coattail with 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 Connaughton, and Rihanna might drop new music after the Super Bowl. She also says she'll make a cute coin off a tell-all interview in a book. Well, you do realize she just did an interview with CBS Morning. It was an exclusive interview, I think, with Gail King, but I could be wrong. So she's already making her media round on that. I just find it funny that the very same group of people that want to say we need to protect our black women are also supporting the music and the character of those that abuse the black woman. Let me see if I can get you in here, Miss Lindsay. Okay, I'm gonna drop the link for y'all so that y'all can go on ahead and join the panel. Oh, and real quick, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up this video. Make sure you like it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that way you'll get more content coming your way in the near future. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, guys. We want to make sure that we get this in the YouTube algorithm so that way the channel can grow. That way we can have more fun discussions about um relatable topics. That way we can take the out here and relate it to the in here. Okay, so there's the link. So if y'all want to join that, if y'all want to join um me on the panel, we can have ourselves a good old conversation, and we can make it do what it do. The only thing I ask before y'all join is y'all respect each other. If it's gonna be multiple people on the panel, y'all don't call each other out each other's name. Y'all don't interrupt each other. Y'all don't do none of that. Y'all allow for each other to make their points and respectfully disagree if you need to respectfully disagree. But I don't want to hear that voice in y'all throat or nothing. Okay? Because that bass in your and I'm not just talking about um my subscribers. I'm also talking about those that want to join in and that are on the side of Tory Lanez. If I catch y'all starting to do that, I will remove you from this platform because I do not do disrespect. I do not do name calling from nobody on this panel. So if y'all want to join, y'all can join, but just be respectful. That's all I ask. Okay, y'all. So here is where I see an issue. Will Megan Thee Stallion bounce back after this? I think so. I think she will. And I think she will also get a book deal, like Lindsay said. But I also think She won't be able after. I don't think her life will be the same after this. This has been a very traumatizing time for her these past couple of years. And I think that that's all we were asking for was justice for this young lady. Because whether her and Tory Lanez's sexual conquest played a part, it does not matter. That's not um what this has been about. This is about a black woman being shot, not about her sexual conquest with her best friend or uh Tory Lanez's sexual conquest with whoever. That's not what this thing is about. And for the defense, the damn defense attorney that Tory Lanez hired to make it about Megan Thee Stallion's sexual conquest, I think they did a piss poor job of defending him. At the end of the day, that black man got shot. I'm sorry, black woman got shot. And y'all can sit there and cry, y'all can sit there and do whatever. But let me ask you something. What are you, DJ Academic? Huh? You had so much shit to say about Megan Thee Stallion, but now that the verdict is reached, now y'all don't want to say nothing. Huh? What are you, Daily Live? Huh? All of y'all got a whole lot of bullshit to say on this girl right here in the larger black woman in this context period. But none of y'all were able to stand up and protect this black woman because y'all felt some kind of way. Y'all didn't like her. Y'all didn't like the way she looked. Y'all didn't like the way she talked. Whatever the reason is, y'all just didn't like her. And then you got some commentators that think that this woman, that Kelsey was playing chess. Let me get on Chelsea's ass. Okay, Kelsey. Okay, let me lay out some basic facts here. Kelsey decided she, for whatever reason, didn't want to protect. She decided, oh, mm, I ain't. I'm not gonna protect Megan, but I'm also not gonna protect Troy. Some of y'all thought that she was only doing this because of her husband's connection to Megan Thee Stallion's old label before she moved to, I think it was Rock Nation. Y'all need to give me the details on her what her connection is. Because her husband is an executive. This girl was not playing chess, and she was less than smart to perjure herself in court. And I hope that right about now she feels bad for how she did Megan Thee Stallion on that stand. Now, do I think that this woman was do I think that this woman needed do I think this woman needed to be in jail for perjury? Absolutely. 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 Because although you thought you were trying to protect something, you ended up making yourself look like a fool. And I can't. I can't with the bullshit. So here's what I think. I think after all is said and done, Megan is going to come out of this unscathed. Oh, I didn't even see you, Lindsay. Hi, 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 hi. Okay, let me move myself. Okay, let me remove.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, well, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I got kicked out and had to come back in, but finally made it.
Okay.
So, what what are you touching on right now so I don't bring up something you've already discussed?
Kelsey.
Oh, um, oh yeah, I did hear the little bit about the perjury piece. I'm not I haven't delved into why she did what she did, but as much Matlock and Law and Order we all have watched on TV in, People's Court and things of that nature, I just found it wholly embarrassing when she was like, I plead the fourth. And
Hmm.
not fully understanding what the Fifth Amendment is and how it protects you, and the misguidance where she thought she could get on the stand and discount everything that she said when she was deposed in September, as if that was all a lie. But you can get on the stand and play in everyone's faces and lie like that. So I'm concerned that, okay, we got the guilty. It's a big celebrity trial that, there's not going to be any follow up on the perjury. I don't know like what type of jail time she should do if they're going to give her like community service and put her on probation, but I don't think that that should be handled lightly. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that. Oh my gosh. I'm hearing some echo. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, here we go. I think that um I don't think she's gonna get charged with the perjury charges. I think that I think that like I said, I think that she's playing chess. Or at least that's what some of the YouTube commentary was doing.
Yes.
And I'm not sure I'm not sure if she's aware of what she's doing.
I don't think so either.
Or
You
what
know,
do you think?
I don't think she's aware either for the simple facts that she got the numbers of the amendments wrong and they had to remind her on the prosecution and defense side like you understand, you know, what type of immunity that you have. And of course, you know, we have the courts and then we have public opinion and this actually brings the Cabo 6 that murder in Mexico. It's like our reputations, do they mean anything to anyone? Like, how can you live with yourself when you can't tell the truth when the truth is sorely needed? Lie about anything and everything else, but like this one thing, this is the one time you really need to tell the truth. And
I
and
agree.
it just baffles me that I thought she was a terrible liar. And it's not as if I knew the truth, right? I wasn't there. But it's just nothing seemed very plausible based on what she was saying and how the defense fumbled, you know, their role in allowing that deposition video to be, you know, or audio to be played in the first place. So I don't necessarily think there was any chess involved. I don't think she took this seriously. I don't think she took
I
this
don't either.
serious. I don't think any. I mean, they are celebrities to us, but I don't think this was taken seriously on Kelsey's part or Tory's part, and it gives so much credence to why Megan didn't want to say anything in the first place. No one's going to take this seriously,
So
you know.
even if Megan didn't want to say anything, well, is this so? Are you saying that because of this being what it was, that Megan didn't want to say anything in the first place because at some point she knew that her best friend was basically a backstabbing bitch.
I don't know if she knew that her best friend was a backstabbing bitch. I don't I don't I don't think anyone foresee Kelsey getting on the stand and doing what she did.
Mm,
I'm a little murky on my understanding on why they kind of fell out in the first place.
me too.
And I didn't really want to go back and trying to find these, you know, IG lives and all this posts or whatever it is, what it is. But I remember watching another YouTube platform and they made mention that Kelsey was upset because Megan wasn't sticking up for her. And I'm like, what more sticking up did she need to do if she outright said Tory shot me? That dispels anything. I named the shooter. I did not name Kelsey, I named Tory. And then, you know, her bodyguard not being her bodyguard any longer. EJ, oh my goodness, saying the things that he said and made his testimony his moment as if the trial was about him. It's just amazing how people flipped. And it seems like how they say Hollywood is Holly weird, but it also just goes to show how loosely excuse me use the word friend when they're basically an associate or an acquaintance. I don't think friends would respond that way. If anything, I look at Megan as a friend because she lied and said I stepped on glass, and I tried to lie until they told me, no, there are bullet fragments in these feet. And I clearly understood the climate of why she said it. I would have been scared too. She could have told the truth, hey, they shot me, and within a millisecond, they could have shot her, and she would have been dead. And we wouldn't be talking about anything.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't think, I mean, and everyone's like, she lied. She lied about her body. I would lie about my body count too. Um, I can lie to Gail King. I can lie to anyone. I'm not under oath. And there were some holes in the story. How Megan said, we weren't fighting, and even Kelsey's like, we weren't fighting. But Sean Kelly was like, yeah, they were fighting. But I also think if we could just bring race into it a little bit, it probably has has never seen black people fight and argue and get loud, and that's probably like why his testimony was probably a little bit embellished. But
Yeah.
I don't think like, oh, something about, to paraphrase what he said, because something about he thought that they were going to throw her in the river, that was so extra, and he made it sound like it was 3 against 1.
When really it was 1 against 2.
Yeah, and it's very plausible. I personally, my opinion is I don't think Tory shot at her on purpose. I don't even know if the dance bitch dance is true, because if that is true, then that is like he meant to aim. I think somebody pulled out a gun, because remember, everyone's drunk, probably very pissy drunk, right? Everybody's inebriated. I think a gun came out and it was like, ho, ho, no, put that up, put that up. And I think it accidentally went off. I don't see how, also, I don't think how it can go off like 5 times, but I think either a gun went off and then I'm just going to shoot at the ground to try to scare you. But also, if you pull the trigger, it's for the intent to kill. I really don't think it was purposely done. I just think it was very childish and foolish.
Um, I don't really know
Yeah, those are the only
because
two. Those are the only two thoughts that are coming to mind. There's a gun. I'm gonna no. I'm gonna shoot you, but not really mean it. And then somebody's like, no, trying to take the gun out of the hands, and then the gun went off. But then, like I said, how does that make the magazine go off? Pull a trigger 4 other times accidentally. But I could see, but that's the whole thing about dance, bitch dance, is that you shoot at the ground to make someone dance. And then I could see, ricochets getting into her feet that way. But I don't think it was like in malice or intent to put bullets in her feet. It was just really stupid and childish, and that it happened. But you have to take accountability for that, own up for those stupid actions, either way.
I think if we go back, the well, my question is why have a gun in the first place? What is the purpose in you having that gun, knowing that the gun is not in your name? So where did that gun come from?
Yes, and it was unregistered, and I know that the whole just to pause on that, if you don't mind, to bring up another point, about the how Tory was trying to bribe Kelsey and Megan, because something about he was on probation, but it wasn't really probation, it was something else, and then also that was already cleared up. So I don't know what kind of record he has, but I know that all 3 of these offenses is deportation. Whether the United States of America will deport him back to Canada, we'll see. But like I said, if these 3 offenses, he can be deported. If he's been in trouble before in the United States, I'm curious what type of restrictions or prior convictions that he's had that would allow him not to have a weapon. So I mean, I do understand different states have different laws on whether you need, a license or permit to carry and concealed and all that stuff. And I don't know how California rocks, but it's serious enough that you have a gun that we don't know who it belongs to, and then secondly, it's in your possession. So again, I don't know why he could not have been on the up and up, why his driver could not have been on the up and up, you know, to where you couldn't do things legally. So that just,
Yeah,
to me, that makes him look bad.
yeah. So where I'm confused at is um where I'm confused at is the okay. We know California has some of based on what I understand about California's gun laws, they are some of the harshest offenses that you can
Yes.
count up to.
Yes.
Having a possession of firearm without a permit, um, that can either go from a felony, from a misdemeanor to a felony, and um, I'm just not sure. I mean, I mean, could it be that they were sloppy drunk and the thing went off? That could very well be the case, but I'm of the opinion that I'm of the opinion that Megan said something to Tory, and Tory's ego was bruised,
Oh, yes.
and
Yes, I agree
for
there.
whatever reason, that's what set this whole entire thing off. I'm not really sure, um, because see, the thing to me is in the larger context of things, I'm just wondering where did all of these blogs come from? Like they didn't care for Megan Thee Stallion at the time of the shooting. They didn't say anything, oh, get well, or nothing. They literally sat there and basically told this woman, fuck her, whatever, whatever, whatever. And they didn't believe Megan when they said that, when she said that she was shot.
See,
The only
I'm
thing that
glad.
they had going for them is the fact that she lied and said that there were glass fragments, but that went right out the window.
But then they also,
So I'm not understanding where
well,
all of this huffing and puffing is coming from
right,
on
but
these
there's,
bloggers and these black men's side, because most of these people will support the very same group of people based upon what their preference is. Then now they're gonna say, oh well, we liked him for the art.
well, both the
Okay,
men and the
what
women
did you think?
weren't well, both men and women weren't supporting her because it's like the glass in the foot. Okay, it's bullets, and then oh, they lost the bullets. It doesn't matter. We know that they were bullets in her feet. She was shot. She didn't lie about that. We can disagree on who shot her, but she was shot. She didn't lie about that. But people, in my opinion, seem to be so hinged upon her lying to Gayle King in that damn interview that she wasn't intimate with Tory. And I don't understand why she didn't have more support from women, if not celebrities, but just us black women in general, because there is probably somebody out there that you don't want to admit that you let hit, and you're gonna lie to your grave and carry that secret with you. So why does her body count have to be involved in whether or not she was shot? That's what kind of blows me, is, oh, well, she lied about being with him. But what does that have to do with anything? She lied to
Right,
Gayle. She told the truth on the stand. There are women out here that are doing that right now. Well, granted, they're not on trial, but they're still lying.
right,
They're lying about it. And like I said, That was the biggest thing. Oh, she wasn't shot. That she lied. She said she was unglassed. She lied. She said she didn't sleep with Tory. And then, oh, she lied about there being a fight. But I could also see with there being a fight because Tory has blown up on other people. Like it was another rap.
August Sustainia?
Yes, but there was also another rapper named Dax that they did like because he had like this beef rap battle with oh my I can't remember Lucas. It might have been Joyner Lucas, but I know that there was another rapper that stepped in named Dax, and he basically wiped Tory with the floor. Tory got upset, and Tory and his entourage jumped Dax, beat him up, then had him on video apologize. So
That goes back to what
he's
I
very
was
like the
saying.
Napoleon complex. He's a very angry little man. So I could also see not there being a, and then all of a sudden to play off her own name, she's a stallion. Like, oh, he's like 5'6" and she's 6'2", and she was probably whooping his ass. I could just see with his ego, with him being so fragile and his ego being so fragile, that he could pull out a weapon and be like, do what I say. Like
Yeah,
I will, like, I'll put this cap and you do what I say, and then being drunk and still, the gun, going off. And then if it
yeah.
accidentally, he's like, so like I see on one side of the coin, I'm saying like an accident, right? But then now I'm leaning more toward not being intentional. Like I don't see him just shooting her in her feet. Why, you might as well just shoot her in her torso and just kill her. But I just see him being very brazen to just pull out, a weapon anyway. Let's say Kelsey pulled out the weapon. Let's say Megan pulled out the weapon. That still doesn't mean to shoot it. And then I think a platform, another YouTube platform, was talking about because of the Sean Kelly testimony, saying that Tory shot in the air. He didn't specifically say that. Um, and there was an attorney, or there is an attorney, Pam Esquire, the law intellect that I watch, and she made mention of the transcript that maybe the defense should have redirected or asked some other questions because on an appeal, which I'm very sure he's going to appeal this, uh, you're looking at testimony. You're not like redoing the whole trial. You're looking at what's on paper. Like, hey, let the record show that um, Sean Kelly said Daystar Peterson had the weapon and discharged it in the air. Sean Kelly said something to the effect where he just saw, like, flashes everywhere. And then we took that, the streets, and ran with it as if Tory was shooting up in the air. So how could he possibly have shot her feet? Just completely, I don't know, purposefully running with it and making it twist into what you want it to be, and then us just being ignorant and not understanding the law. So it's
Um,
it, it's crazy. So to me, like, there could have been a loss of life, any four of them, realistically. But I am looking at Kelsey just as dirty as Tori is for her performance or lack thereof on the stand. Like how you had mentioned, like what is Megan's career gonna be like? I think she'll be okay. Like I said, she can chill out on the music. We got some music. Nobody's gonna be looking for you. No one's gonna be checking for you. Just like Quavo and Offset. Something traumatic happened. There's no expectation. So, what is Kelsey's reputation going to be like? I mean, she's not a performer. I mean, she's, I guess, a housewife and a mother now, right? Because I'm like, wow, you married this guy within a 2 year or 2.5 year time span and had a baby. That was super quick. But
her husband,
yeah, as in the one of the executives at 1501. It's like, wow, just
yeah,
I I don't know if I could ever befriend this woman. Like, okay, like I don't know if I could be friends with someone like that. But then we have to look at, for example, like what am I trying to think of real quick? Real Housewives of Atlanta, when Phaedra and Portia were talking about those allegations against Candy, and everybody hated Portia for that. And then recently we see Candy like hugged up with Portia at the wedding. So it's kind of like, if Candy's okay with it and she let that shit go, it's kind of like we should. See what I mean? But it's like, how could anyone expect to have any type of friendship with this girl when she lied so egregiously how she did, unless her and Megan have a sit down at some point and then they let it go, and then we see them hugged up somewhere and taking a picture, then we're like, okay, then that means the whole world needs to squash it because they did. Does that make sense? But I mean, like, for right
Yeah.
now, it's like, girl, I wouldn't trust you to carry a letter to the mailbox for me. Like, I would not want anything to do with her. Period.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you because I'm hearing a lot of echo, so I'm wondering if that's on your end because on my end I'm not hearing it.
Oh, I don't hear an echo on my end.
Okay, because I'm hearing it on your end because my stuff is great.
Oh, yeah.
So can you just as I'm talking, kind of mute your mic?
Oh, sure, sure. Yes, I follow that.
If that makes any
Well,
sense.
I think it was more than a one night stand, considering they were going on trips and stuff with each other. I just don't. I think it was probably just sex and nothing serious. I mean, just like that one picture where she's bending over and he's that's probably the only time he's ever been a little bit taller than her, and he's like, putting his waist up to her backside. Like, that was a little bit more playful than somebody just being friends. Like, I don't think that was like any potential serious relationship. I just think they were just messing around.
Same. I think,
Yes, I think I heard or may have read that Megan had kind of introduced them and set them up. They started messing around with each other. Kelsey caught COVID and then had to go back to Texas. And then while she was away, that's when Megan kind of swooped in. But to me, like I said, I'm not that, you know, um, vested in this where I need to go back and look at pictures and timelines. But that, I think you know that picture I'm referring to. Like when that happened, like where was Kelsey? How could um Megan like do such a risque photo with a guy her best friend was messing with? You know what I mean? So I think on girl
yeah,
code they already knew like what was up.
yeah,
And then I think when he tried to blast Megan, she could have been like, "Bitch, she already knows." And then he didn't get what he wanted because he's so accustomed to overpowering people. So I could see him pulling out a gun because he only has one person on his side, and that's the driver. And usually, when he went at Dax, he went at August Alsina, and I can't remember someone else. I think it was a woman. He sounds like the baby, but he always has like a group of people with him. So I could see him feeling not only am I outnumbered, and in people I'm like outnumbered in height and size and things like that, but I just don't see how Megan could just have that picture floating around like that and it be in her homegirl's face like that.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that the trial is over and say, "Ooh, let's protect our black woman."
Oh, like Joe Budden and DJ Academics. I don't think they're
Yeah,
like, I think they're probably somewhere crying in the car. But I don't think they're like, oh, we believe her now. But they were definitely just recently dragging her. I'm
I
surprised.
couldn't do that.
I'm surprised that Joe Budden of all people would speak up and say anything about the interactions between men and women, considering how many women in his life he's beaten. And the same goes for DJ Academic soft ass. He was seen on video like roughing up his girlfriend a little bit and talking pretty, aggressively towards her. I mean, he could never be a Joe, but it's just like a tough guy act. But it's kind of like, you know, he without sin, cats the first stone. Like, maybe this is not the hill you need to be on to potentially be dying on because you've done
Yeah,
something just like this, especially Joe. And you know how we agreed, like the father, Tori's father, when I said, like, I'm thinking the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I don't care if he is a pastor or a godly man. I don't know what God he was talking about, but look how you responded. It was so niggerish, but look how you responded, okay? And you had kids in the courtroom upsetting them. And then that's the same way what Joe did. I don't know if you watch Fox so much, the Queens with Cocktails with Claudia Jordan and Vivica Fox, where they were making, yeah,
I don't watch them.
I mean, well, that they made some comments, because they can be dry sometimes and way off the mark, but they were on point
Yeah.
recently, talking about what Joe said, and Vivica was basically like, "Joe, go sit down somewhere," and then he called himself popping off, and he got a little backlash, and he called himself, "Well, I'm not really apologizing, but this, that, or whatever." Like, I'm just gonna say Meg is lying and Tori is not guilty because I don't like Megan because I don't like how she's treated some of my friends. That is so mean girlish and petty. But just the way Joe responded, because he got a response that he didn't like or he didn't expect. What is up with men and not being able to level out their emotions and articulate their thoughts and feelings? That is a problem the world over. Yes, I follow that. That's a perfect point. Well, clearly, Tory has a father. We don't know how involved his father has been in his life, but I I hear people say and post that he's a man of the cloth. I'm just kind of dumbfounded. Like, this is not the first violent offense your sweet little boy has ever been involved in. And he's been sliding down the slippery slope since July of 2020. He's still being involved in aggressive and violent behavior. So are you upset that your child is looking at like 20 plus years possibly and then an immediate deportation? Or is it like on some like Romeo and Master P type of stuff, like the breadwinner is gone? Or is it the money? Is that I that's like my first thought, like, oh, he's pissed because now the money train is coming to a halt.
Mm,
I don't care if you are a pastor and stealing from the collection plate, you're not bringing in the money that he is, your son is. And then I thought, okay, great. What if he did get involved with bribery? I don't think a lot of us realize, like with Kanye West, for example, he had $3 billion one day and then he lost $2 billion the next. I don't think we realize, that doesn't mean he has 3 billion, $1 bills in the bank. That's a net worth. Just because we see them like with these white chiclets for teeth and he got a new hairline and he has all of these, chains and diamonds and stuff, we don't even know if that's real. And then secondly, we don't know where his money is. We're not able to count his pockets, but he hasn't been that hot for this long to have that amount of wealth to be paying people off for it to go so badly.
yeah, I thought that was weird to me.
So he has more money than I do. That is definitely factual. However,
Mm,
his pockets aren't that deep. I don't even think 1501's pockets are that deep to be paying people off. And then
um,
and then if so, like you still didn't get the result that you were looking for. He's guilty.
exactly. Um, um,
I think that's the case with any black family. I don't care if you're the first person in your family to make six figures. You're not the only person you're going to be taken care of. It's always been that way with us. Like I said, you could be a thousandaire or a millionaire. There's another mouth somewhere to feed that's not your own. And that's why I brought up Romeo and Master P, because Romeo, in one of his posts, was just like, you and I know if anything happens to one of us, it's over for the family. Why, and then, two, why we depend on someone else's money like that is beyond me. But it's just like, okay, one of us made it, one of us is rich, so now we're all rich. And we don't have to have any type of backup plan or be self sufficient or anything like that. But that's where my mind went. Yeah, I know you're probably upset and heartbroken. He's going to go to prison for a long time, but then also, shit, I don't have any money.
you ain't got the money.
Oh, and also before this ends, could you like post your Cash App or how to donate to your channel, please?
I'm
Or any other, I know Cash App is pretty popular, but any other way to try to donate, I'd like to know, please. Well, while you're looking for that, I just wanted to just bring up one other like quick topic. I mean, it's still about what we're discussing. What are your thoughts about Party, and did you see the post that he made, which is basically like, believe her, support black women post, but I think that's the first and only mention I've ever heard or seen from him. And then people were like, well, why didn't he go to court with her? I guess like the 1 or 2 days she had to pop up. Like, we haven't seen him or heard from him. What do you think about that? No, Party. The guy she's dating, Partisan, Fontaine, and she had mentioned at court how, I don't know if she said something like she's embarrassed for him or he's embarrassed because, her body count is out there, but like how this is affecting her, you know, personally and professionally. But he made a post, and it was the only like peep anybody heard out of him. And I was just curious of your thoughts of like, why didn't we hear from him sooner, or, at all?
honestly, I don't.
But I'll go ahead and drop down, and thank you so much for having me up. I really enjoyed discussing this with you, and I really enjoy your platform. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys can see me. Okay. Let me see if I can put this up. Are you able to see that? If not, I probably need to. Okay. Um. So I have my catch up. It's dollar sign Willie the Willie Morris. If you're still not able to get access to it, my email. Let me type in my email. Then that way I can just go ahead and send you the link to my catch up. Um. So yeah, that's my email. I'm working on getting my business email set up. Let me know if the catch app is working because my email is linked to the catch app. All right, guys. If you guys have my um, if you guys have all of my available information, I will see you guys later on the next podcast. The next time that we have another discussion is likely going to be next week because my family and I are really busy this Christmas. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, happy holidays and a Merry Christmas because I am going to be with my family. So probably next Saturday, you'll probably hear something from me again. And it's gonna be a different topic every other week if it's not the week that I'm really, really busy. So just be on the lookout for that. Also make sure you have your bell pressed so that you'll get what you're looking for. All right, thank you guys so much. I enjoyed the conversation, and now I have to get off. Thank you guys, and God bless you, and Merry Christmas.